Friends, welcome to another Thursday Alive with Carrie here at Whimsy Stamps. However, today is Saturday, so forgive me for not making with you on Thursday. I had a bit of computer problems that took me out of the game on Thursday, but I am happy to be here with you on this Saturday afternoon. So I hope you're having a lovely day. So today's project, we're going to use the Christmas Critter Wishes and do some old-fashioned ink to paper stamping using a stamping block. So since the invention of the stamping platforms, I use that almost all the time, but for today's project, I went old school. So let's change our camera view and take a look at our project. All right, so here is the project today, and I wanted to use these cute little Christmas critters, and I also wanted to use some kind of retro Christmas colors, the pinks and soft greens instead of the more traditional reds and greens. So here is our card today. So let me show you the products that we're going to use. Here are the Christmas critters, and they are so cute. And in today's, we're going to be using the little kitty cat, but all of them are just so precious. And they do have the No Fuss masks available for this stamp set, which we will be using today. I'm also going to be using the Slimline Pine set, and specifically, we're going to use the Happy Holidays and this wonderful kind of the branch here for the pine tree, and we're going to use this to create a Christmas tree on our card. I'm going to be using the Blurry Flurry 6x6 paper set, and specifically today I'm using this pink sheet. And for our frames, I wanted it to be just a little decorative rather than just squares. And so I went to, let's get the name of this one right, A2 Antique Frames. And specifically, we're going to use these two largest ones. All right, so to begin, excuse me, got choked up. I used the second smallest one, or well, the second largest one, I should say. So this is the largest. This is the next size down, and out of some, just whatever your stamping paper. This is Nina Solar White, but any of whatever you choose to stamp on and color on regularly, you'll want to cut this panel out. Now I have gone ahead and I stamped our little kitty cat in Pebble ink from a Catherine Pooler, but you can choose whatever inks you like. And then I used the Happy Holiday from the Slimline Pine set, and I stamped that in the Be Mine. And this Be Mine really just matched our paper perfectly. I was very happy with that color match. And I went ahead and cut my paper down to 4 by 5 1/4. So once I got this stamping done, I also took a sheet of, this is a product from Spellbinders, and it is glittered foam. So I have some that is out of the package, and here it is. It's literally just craft foam like you would get at the hobby store that has been glittered. But I love adding sparkle to my projects with this because it doesn't come off. You don't have any glitter that falls off and you find it on the end of your nose. If you're like me, somebody's always going, you have a little piece of glitter? I'm like, yeah, I sparkle. So this is a great product if you don't like having glitter all over. So I'm going to take the largest and the same size we used here and cut that out of my glitter foam. And that is going to give me this right here. And I'm going to go ahead and pull off the frame. And this is what we're going to use to put a nice glittery frame around our piece that we're going to stamp. All right, so our paper and our frame, we can go ahead and set that aside, and we are going to work on our coloring and our stamping. So just to make it easier for my tabletop here, I'm going to go ahead and put my piece down on a piece of just cardboard here. And this is repositionable ink, and I'm just going to add that right here. And one thing I like to do when I am free stamping is to put down a piece of foam. And this is just a pad to stamp on, and that just makes it so I'm more likely to get a really good impression. So I'm going to bring in 2 of my makeup brushes here, or ink brushes, I guess you'd call them. We'll be using those, but before I do that, we're going to want to apply our No Fuss mask. And I love No Fuss masks. So it comes with 4 sheets in the package. And I'm down to my last sheet because I made so many of these cards that I'm down to my last one. I saved it for the live. So we're going to go ahead and pull the kitty cat off. If you're here with me today, I would love it if you say hi there in the chat. Let's see here. Hello, Irina. It's great to see you. I am also going to check really quickly to see if I can see live on to see the feed on YouTube, but it doesn't look like I can. Let's see here. All right, hold on one second. Okay, I've managed to pull up the feed on YouTube so I can see the chat on YouTube as well. Hello, Tamara and Bonnie, Cheryl, welcome. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Okay, so now that we've got the computer going, and I'm so glad it is, let's find the little kitty cat. So she is right up here in the corner. And I'm going to peel that off. I don't want to tear it. There it is. Just getting that kitty cat pulled out. Okay, one little place here didn't. There it goes. Okay. Okay, so here we've got our No Fuss mask. You guys, I just pulled off the bunny instead of the cat. Oh boy. All right, well, let's find the right one. I had it turned upside down. No wonder it wasn't working right here. This one should come off pretty easily. There we go. I did so many of these and I pulled off the wrong one. Okay, there. Now we have the little kitty cat. All right, here we go. Go ahead and line that up. All right, so there we have our kitty cat mask, and I have the bunny one all ready to go if I do that later on today. And I am going to take the limoncello color, and I'm going to add a little bit of glow to my background. So just going to lightly add just a little bit of a glow there behind my happy holidays. I just didn't want that to be stark white. So tell me there in the chat, have you decorated for Christmas yet? So here in the US, it is not quite Thanksgiving yet. Thanksgiving's next week. But I have noticed lots of folks already have their Christmas decorations put up and lights on and celebrate. I still have my house decorated for the fall. I like to do my Christmas tree the day after Thanksgiving, sometimes on Saturday. So now I'm going to come in with just a little bit of the Be Mine, and I'm going to tap off because I don't want it to be too dark, but I'm going to mix that just down here at the bottom and mix it in a little bit with that limoncello color, just to give kind of a pink glow down here around my kitty cat. Come back in with the yellow. All right, so now that we have our nice glow, we are ready to come in with our stamping. So I have put our pine branch stamp here on a stamping block, And you can do what's called a second generation stamping, where you ink your stamp and stamp it, and then right away you do a second one, and that'll give you lights and darks. But I wanted to try using two different colors instead. So I'm going to use the sea glass and the skylight. Put them on my right, I think. Hold on one second. Okay. I don't want to get the lids mixed up, because once you take the lids off, it's a little hard to see. So I'm going to go ahead and get some ink on my branch here. And I'm going to do the largest one first. I'm going to stamp further out and then let it get less as I come up, so that we can see our little cat here will be sitting in front of the Christmas tree. Okay, this little piece that hangs down this way, I wanted to try to get that where it doesn't go below my kitty cat. Like, I didn't want that hang, because she's not sitting on the tree. So now I'm just adding, we're just coming in with the next color. I'm using both colors, so I'm going to be going back and forth, layering it up. There we go. And I'm just going to do some old-fashioned stamping. And as I go, I'm making it smaller and smaller, so I'm only putting ink on the outer end. You have your shopping done, Cheryl? Oh, I'm jealous. I haven't even started. I actually woke up thinking about that this morning, that I have so much to do. But, you know, I don't like to let it stress me. I want to enjoy the holidays. So however it works out, it'll be great. So, okay. Just working our way up. And I think I want just a little more of the darker color right up here. Maybe a little second generation. I do think overlapping gives you a lot of variation within there. So I'm just going to do a little more, whoops, of the lighter color about right here. There we go. You can use just the tip to kind of give yourself just a few more little places. All right, I think I'm liking my tree. All right. So now that I have my tree done, I'm going to come in with just a little bit more of the Be Mine pink, and add just a little more in there. And I see I missed a spot right here, so I'm going to add just a little bit right in there where you can, because our mask is still in place, so we can still add in and around there. I want to make sure it looks nice and solid behind our kitty cat there. So go ahead and take that off, and I'm going to add just a little more of that pink glow around my tree. Okay, there we go. So now that we have our tree stamped, let's go ahead and remove that mask. Have you got your Christmas cards done? Cheryl asks. I have made quite a few Christmas cards just through the process of the different lives that I do, both here on Whimsy and for another company that I create for. So I have several, but I haven't addressed them or got them ready to go at all. Does anybody else have theirs like completely ready to like drop in the mail? Bonnie says that Whimsy stamps are some of her favorites. Amen. I am right there with you, sister. I love I can pretty much say all of them. I don't know that there's just one that I don't. I specifically love all the different stamp sets that just have so much character. Like, if they do cute, they're super cute. If they do funny, they're super funny. You know, I just really like the expression. So I'm pulling this off softly here because I want to try not to tear it. This is my last, my very last of my masks here, and I have more of these cards to make. So I'm going to try to preserve this here so that I can use it again later today. There we go. I've gone through quite a few. So, okay, now that we have our tree made, look at that. We've got our kitty cat sitting right there in front of the tree. And I didn't even have to pull out my Misty, just a good old stamping block and our pine. And what a fun way to make a tree. Okay, so now we're going to do just a little bit of coloring. Like I said, I wanted to keep my color palette kind of an old-fashioned retro Christmas, so I didn't want a lot of competing colors. So we're going to have a little gray kitty. And pulled the wrong one. I'm going to use N1 and N0 because I don't really want it to get super dark. But we're just going to add a little bit of shadow in here. And if you've watched my lives very often, you know that I'm kind of a simple colorer. Most of my things are just going to be two color blends. Occasionally, if it's a bigger item, I'll do a 3, but most of the time, I just do 2. So I'm coming in with the N0 to just blend in the rest of my kitty here. And I did forget a spot with the N1 right in here in his neck. Just going to kind of go over to darken up my shadows. And there we go. In keeping with the paper I chose, I'm going to use the R20. Sandy says she's going to be working on hers this weekend. So this weekend, I'm actually hosting a Friendsgiving at my house. Some of my adult children, their friends, still live here in town, and they asked if they could do Friendsgiving at my house, and I said absolutely. So I am looking forward to that. So I am just coloring every other stripe on her little scarf. I'm going to color it pink to match our paper. And I'm just going to go over to do my shadow. I'm just using the same pen and going over the edges a second and third time. So you don't always have to get another color to do your shadow. You can use the same pen that you have to create layers. All right, for my little Christmas bauble here, I did want to have a splash of red on each of these. So I'm going to use the R29 and the R24. Just gonna do the edges here. And to create the light part, I'm just going to fill that circle there in the center, and that's going to provide my light in the middle. So the last one I'm going to use is, sorry, I grabbed the wrong one, is the Y35 for the little bell around her neck and for the little top of the Christmas bauble. And just a little bit of the Y17 to do some shadow there in the base. All right, so there's our panel ready to be added to our cards. So here I've got my paper, and I love the little foam frame, but it does change shape. So here's a tip. You want to, don't glue your frame down first and then try to put in your center. You want to put your center down first. Then when you glue your frame on, you can shape it and make sure that it's fit perfectly around the center. If you do it the other way around, you might end up with gaps. Okay, so Cheryl is asking me, what is Friendsgiving? So Thanksgiving is generally celebrated with all your family and friends too, but a lot of times you go to see family. So the young people who hang out on a regular basis have decided that they want to get together and have a meal with their friends before they do the official Thanksgiving. So they call that Friendsgiving, and that's kind of a tradition that started. And I'm going to come in with N1 and just provide some grounding for my kitty cat here because I don't want her to be sitting floating. There we go. But yeah, that's what Friendsgiving is. It's basically getting together to celebrate your thankful time together as friends instead of just with family. So I'm going to take a A2 panel that measures 4¼ by 5½. And I'm going to go ahead and glue down my pretty pink paper that I have cut here. So tell me there in the chat, how many of you do most of your stamping with some form of a stamping platform? Or do you still just go freehand with a block? How do you do most of your stamping? I'd love to know. Until I did this, I didn't realize how little I actually use my stamping blocks until I was doing this project. And I thought, you know, it's been a long time since I've done this. I did try one using the platform to make this tree, and it was a little tedious because I had to keep moving it up and down. I thought, why am I doing it this way? It'd be so much easier just to do it with a stamping block. So when you lay this piece on, you want to make sure that you get your top and bottom pretty even and your side to side pretty even so that it's centered there on your card. Because like I said, the foam, it's easy to shape around there, but your whole panel will look crooked on your card if you get the center not aligned well. All right. So I like to line up one end and kind of press that down. And that's why I used wet glue, so I have a little bit of wiggle room to press that in and get it around there well. All right, so another good use for your stamping blocks is to kind of set them on your foam there so that that holds down. Just let that glue adhere a little bit before we move on. You mostly use the Misty, Sandy. Me too. I use my Misty, and I have several stamping platforms from several different companies, and but I probably use the Misty 90% of the time. All right. Now, I think I've told you before that when I make a card, when I get kind of down to the end, I look at it and I'm saying, okay, what does this card need to finish it off? And you probably noticed in my original here, or this one, that the kitty cat's eyes, I decided they just didn't pop enough in the gray. I liked my cat in the gray, but I decided to come back and use a Faber-Castell fine point pen and to trace over her eyes. And there we go. I think the eyes on these critters are part of what make them so cute. So by outlining those eyes, it just really adds a lot, I thought. So I'm going to come in with a pink color and give her just a little pink nose. There we go. All right. Now, Cheryl was asking me about my glue. And let's see, is the glue you use better than the Bearly Art glue? You know, I use the Art Glitter glue almost exclusively because I bought some of these refill ones in bulk one time. So I can just refill this little bottle. I've used this same little bottle for probably 5 or 6 years. And I just keep refilling it. And it's easy. I have a whole bunch of these tips. so it makes it handy. I have only used the Barely Art Glue a couple of times when I've been at craft shows. So I don't have a lot of experience with the Barely Art Glue, but I have a feeling that they're very, very similar. I know lots of experienced crafters who use either both of these or one or the other, and so I'm guessing that they work very similarly. Okay, for the very last thing, I'm going to add just a few gems up there around my greeting. Not a lot, and these are, I think these came from Pink Fresh, but any gems that you have uh, would be fun. I thought about adding some on the tree, but I have to say in the end, I liked them just over here kind of highlighting the greeting. And one tool I want to highlight is the jewel picker. If you are a crafter and you don't have one of these, they're fantastic. And this pretty silver one comes from Whimsy Stamps. And if you have crafty friends, this would make a fun little gift because they just make adding gems so much easier. Right, there we go. All right, before I let you go today, I wanted to show you a few more of these cards that I have made. And of course, I'm going to glue this right onto an A2 card, a side folding card. I made a little bunny version. And on this one, I used just regular pink cardstock, and then I used glitter and glue to add glitter around the pink cardstock because I only have this foam in the white, but I did, I liked it. Then I also have a few more. Here's one a little bit different with the critters. I made a shaker, and again, you can see I used that glitter foam to make the frame. I thought that one was fun. And I brought in one of the embossing folders to do the back piece here. And then we've got the wind here with the little swirls. And then I also wanted to show you, I tried coloring their eyes in several different ways. On this one, I did their mouths and noses, but I kind of liked it with just their eyes highlighted. So I don't know, you'll have to let me know what you think. I went back and forth. And then here's one where I did some glitter and such and put them in a circle, but I did that same idea of doing a tree behind. And then this one, I stamped them in black instead of stamping them in a color. So you have to tell me what you think. I kind of like them stamped, like this one's in gray, this one's in coffee, this one's in pink. But I kind of liked those animals as kind of not really no line coloring, but more stamped in a color that coordinates with how I was going to color them rather than stamped in black. So I don't know. Can go either way, I guess. All right. Well, those are just what I've been working on for Christmas. And let's go ahead and switch the camera back. All right. Whoops, I didn't quite get all the way back, did I? There we go. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here with me today on this Saturday afternoon. I will be with you again the week after Thanksgiving. So this coming Thursday, I will not have a live, but then picking up the Thursday after, I will be back with you with another Whimsy Stamp project. So I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope that you've saved up for all the crafty Black Friday sales that come up on Friday. That's always an exciting day. So all right. Thanks so much for crafting with me, and I'll see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.